Welcome to Raily Meets on the Move. In today's episode, we'll cover signs of being in love, including growth, compromise, and vulnerability, as well as signs of infatuation, such as moving fast and expecting perfection. We'll also discuss how love embraces imperfections, values honesty, and thrives in reality. Love and relationships are something that many people seek in life. We all yearn for that special connection, but we often forget that love requires growth, compromise, and vulnerability. It's not always an easy journey, and there are times when it can be painful. However, true love demands that we constantly strive to be better, to be more understanding, and to practice patience. But on the flip side, love also means recognizing when things just aren't working out anymore and having the courage to walk away. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, relationships reach a point where they're no longer healthy or fulfilling. It takes guts to acknowledge that and take the necessary steps to move on. So how can you tell if you were never truly in love in the first place? Well, here are 6 signs to look out for. Firstly, if you find yourself moving things too fast with your partner, it could be a sign that you are more infatuated than in love. Love takes time to develop, while infatuation thrives on speed. When you dive headfirst into a relationship without truly getting to know the other person, it's often because you're more focused on your own dreams and desires rather than the reality of who they are. Secondly, if you have high expectations for your partner and get angry or disappointed when they show you their true colors, it's a red flag. Love accepts the imperfections of others and embraces them wholeheartedly. But if you're constantly seeking perfection in your partner and become upset when they don't meet your unrealistic standards, it's a sign that your feelings may not be rooted in true love. Thirdly, if you don't feel comfortable enough around your partner to be your authentic self, it could indicate that your connection is more superficial than deep. Love should create a safe space where you can be vulnerable and completely yourself. But if you're constantly pretending or hiding parts of who you are, it suggests that you may not have truly fallen in love. Fourthly, if you find yourself growing more distant from your partner over time, it could be a sign that your feelings have changed. Love is about growing together and nurturing your bond, but if you're drifting apart emotionally, it may indicate that your connection wasn't as strong as you initially believed. Fifthly, if your mind is constantly elsewhere and your heart follows suit, it's a clear sign that your feelings may not be rooted in love. Love requires presence and active engagement in the relationship. If you're constantly daydreaming or longing for something different, it suggests that your heart is not fully invested in the present relationship. Lastly, if you're experiencing anxiety in the relationship, it could be an indication that your feelings are more rooted in fear than in love. Love should bring you peace and stability, not constant worry and unease. Anxiety often arises when we're unsure about our feelings or the future of the relationship, and this is a sign that you may need to evaluate whether you were ever truly in love. So, if you identify with any of these 6 signs, it's possible that you were never in love but rather infatuated. Infatuation often lives in an illusion, focusing on superficial desires and fantasies. True love, on the other hand, can withstand the test of time and faces reality head-on. Remember, love takes time to develop and grow. It requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to accept both the strengths and weaknesses of your partner. So, if you're unsure about your feelings, take a step back and reflect on whether your connection is rooted in love or something else entirely. Expecting your partner to be perfect is a common misconception that often stems from infatuation. When you have unrealistic expectations of your partner, such as always being well-dressed, articulate, or accomplished, you're essentially putting them in a box and not allowing them to be their authentic selves. True love, on the other hand, is grounded in acceptance and understanding. It means embracing your partner's imperfections, working through challenges together, and cherishing the good times. Another important aspect of love is feeling comfortable around your partner. It's when you truly fall in love that you can let your guard down and be your true self. Renowned researcher Dr. Brené Brown has discovered that a strong sense of love and belonging fosters vulnerability in relationships. On the contrary, when you feel disconnected from your partner, you tend to build walls and hide your true emotions and struggles. Love requires openness and sharing. Otherwise, it's not fully realized. If you're growing distant from your partner, it's a red flag that something might be wrong. It's natural for the initial passion to fade and transform into a more steady and secure relationship over time. However, when two people are truly in love, they still desire to spend time together frequently. So if you find yourself constantly wanting to escape or canceling plans with your partner in favor of other activities, it's a sign that there's an underlying issue. When your mind and heart are elsewhere, it's a clear indication that you're not in love anymore. When you're genuinely in love with someone, you pay attention to the little things about them, show concern when conflicts arise, and prioritize their importance in your life. On the contrary, if you find yourself avoiding difficult conversations or disengaging from arguments, you're diminishing their significance, which is a strong signal that love might be fading. Lastly, anxiety can be a telling sign that love is absent. Psychologists, including Dr. Autumn Ashiba, explain that anxiety can manifest in physical symptoms and discomfort. If you're holding on to something important that you need to share with your partner but are dreading the conversation, it indicates a lack of love. Remember, you can't run away from the truth forever. Forcing love when it's not there will only cause pain for both parties involved. You both deserve to find love that is genuine and fulfilling, whether it's within your current relationship or elsewhere. In conclusion, love isn't about expecting perfection from your partner or trying to mold them into an ideal version. It's about embracing their imperfections, feeling comfortable and vulnerable in their presence, maintaining a close connection, and being honest about your emotions and struggles. If any of these essential components are lacking in your relationship, it's important to reassess and determine whether love is truly present. In today's episode, we explored the signs of true love and the dangers of infatuation, learning that love requires growth, compromise, and vulnerability, while infatuation thrives on expectations of perfection and a lack of honesty. Remember, love embraces imperfections and values presence. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I'll see you guys at the next one. Don't forget to share with friends and subscribe. And of course, if you haven't applied at Raily yet, it's the perfect time to do so now. Cheers!